To many, the loss of net neutrality is confusing. This may be due to the fact that if you were to look online or even ask members of your community, most people are generally against the repeal. I asked my sister Addison Kime, who is a graduate student at Montclair with a minor in communications, what she believes net neutrality is, as well as her feelings on it.
Basically, what I know about net neutrality is that it's the principle that states that all internet service provider have to give equal access to all different kinds of pages and web pages, regardless of the source that they're coming from. I would have to say, in my experience, I've met more people who are against the loss of net neutrality.
So, if it's not benefiting or backed by the public, then why is it occurring? Once again, I asked my sister for her outlook on the situation.
Um, if this isn't benefiting the general public, who I think it is benefiting is the internet service providers. I think that they're big companies who have a lot of influence and a lot of money and have been fighting for the loss of net neutrality for a while. So I think that it's benefiting them because then the internet becomes more profitable to them and they have more opportunity to make money from the people who are using the internet, the consumers.
Before delving even deeper into this topic, it's important to understand the individuals who made this happen. Ajit Pai is the chairman of the FCC who was appointed by Donald Trump. He was previously the commissioner of the FCC appointed by Barack Obama. He voted against the regulations in 2015 set by the Obama administration. However, although his vote did not hold much weight in 2015, he, now as chairman and backed with the predominantly Republican FCC, was able to do away with the net neutrality regulations he'd always opposed. According to Vox, the vote was 3-2, 3 being the Republicans and 2 being the Democrats. In retrospect, a large reason for net neutrality being done away with is due to Donald Trump. Because he was elected president, he was able to appoint Ajit Pai as chairman. Not only that, he was able to shift the majority of the FCC to Republican. Aside from how they received the power to make this decision, one may wonder what their motives are. In a statement made on Fox News, Pai explained that he felt that net neutrality was holding back the market and stunting creativity. What was not mentioned in this interview was the freedoms that would be taken away from the general public if it was repealed. In a video posted by the Washington Post, it is explained that large internet service providers such as cable and Verizon would benefit largely off of the loss of net neutrality. Without these regulations, they are able to create blocks on information and fast lanes. In plain terms, fast lanes would provide quicker internet speeds for users. In order to receive a fast lane, one would have to pay a larger sum. This, of course, would bring bigger profit to these large ISPs. However, this would demand that the public now pay for content that they were once allowed for free. However, the up in price does not only affect the general public, it also affects large online corporations such as Netflix. According to the Washington Post, in 2013, before the regulations were enacted by the Obama administration, Comcast slowed Netflix's streaming speeds until they paid them a larger sum in 2014. This affected not only Netflix, but their viewers as well. Despite their lack of consideration for the public, many members of the FCC are correct in their assumptions that the market would benefit from the lack of net neutrality regulations. Mark Barrero, Fargo Carandi, and Tommaso Valetti published their findings in 2015 of a study that they had done with a two-sided model, one that had net neutrality and another that did not. In the article, they explain that in those who use fast lanes, investments in broadband capacity and content innovation are both higher than those who use net neutrality. However, according to a hearing titled Why Net Neutrality Matters Protecting Consumers and Competition Through Meaningful and Open Internet Rules, it explains that small businesses suffer greatly with the loss of net neutrality. It is extremely evident that these decisions were made to benefit big businesses and the market. The issues that now face the general public and small businesses were certainly not taken into consideration. I once again brought my sister in for a second opinion.
I don't feel that the benefit that the loss of net neutrality would provide to the market is worth all of the freedoms that would be lost for the consumers. While I do understand that it could be beneficial to the market, I think that there kind of has to be a line drawn somewhere. And I think when it comes to our ability to have equal access to content on the internet, I don't think that that's something that can be blurred or lost, in my opinion.
Joshua S. Gann's paper, Weak versus Strong Net Neutrality, published in the Journal of Regulatory Economics, explains that while big businesses are not a fan of net neutrality, it does not harm them or their income. Gantz claims that these regulations may even stimulate their content provider investments. The internet was intended to be a free space for all. Without these regulations, it gives higher-ups the power over the people. Instead of being able to stream your favorite show, you may be left with a loading symbol. Pro-life pages may be blocked as they are considered too risque, which is an incident that genuinely occurred in 2007 when Verizon blocked text messages covering said topic matter, and you will be left with the decision between slow internet or an empty wallet. The repeal of Title II was a blatant disregard for the wants of the public. In this instance specifically, as of right now, big businesses have won. Although the effects of the loss of net neutrality may not be seen for years to come, when they do, they will be very relevant to the lives of each individual who uses the internet. The overwhelming majority's viewpoint on the regulations of net neutrality should not be ignored due to the decisions of a few.